Hello everyone. Today I Bhavneet Kaur from Plus 2B would like to present this video assignment of biology on the topic typhoid and other diseases caused by protozoans. In this video we are going to study three diseases. First one is typhoid, which is caused by a bacteria, and the next ones are malaria and amoebiasis, which are caused by protozoans. Now, let us start with the first disease, that is typhoid. Typhoid is caused by a pathogenic bacterium named Salmonella typhi. Salmonella typhi generally enter the small intestine of human body through contaminated food and water. These pathogens also migrate to the other organs through blood. Now, let us study the symptoms of typhoid. The symptoms include sustained high fever, weakness, stomach pain, constipation, headache, and loss of appetite. In severe cases, enlargement of liver, enlargement of spleen, white coating on the tongue, ulcers in the intestine, and rashes on the body can be seen. Typhoid is tested by Widal test. Now, here's a case study given in our book. Mary Mellon, whose nickname was Typhoid Mary, was a cook by profession and was a typhoid carrier. She continued to spread typhoid for several years through the food she prepared. So from this condition, we come to know that typhoid can be spread from one person to another by contaminated food or water. Prevention from this disease is very important. It can be prevented by avoiding contaminated food and water. Now let us study the next disease, that is malaria, which is caused by a protozoan named Plasmodium. There are different species of Plasmodium: Plasmodium vivax, Plasmodium malaria, and Plasmodium falciparum, which are responsible for causing different types of malaria in humans, such as malignant malaria, that is caused by the species Plasmodium falciparum. Malignant malaria is the most serious one and can be fatal for the life. If the blood-carrying malarial parasites keeps on circulating to every other organ of the body, then that is called malignant malaria. The symptoms of malaria include high fever, chilling of the body, headache, sweating, nausea and vomiting, and muscle pain. These are RDTs, that is malarial rapid diagnostic tests. They assist in the diagnosis of malaria by providing evidence of the presence of malarial parasites in the human blood. Now, let us have a look on the life cycle of Plasmodium. Plasmodium enters the human body in the form of sporozoites through the bite of an infected female Anopheles mosquito. After entering the human body, these sporozoites move towards the liver through the blood. After reaching the liver, these parasites reproduce asexually inside the liver cells. Then the liver cells burst and the parasites are released into the blood. Now, they attack the RBCs and again reproduce inside RBCs, thereby bursting the red blood cells. As the RBCs burst up, the parasites release a toxic substance called hemozoin, which is responsible for chilling and high fever after every 3 to 4 days. The released parasites further attack other RBCs and reproduce sexually inside them. They make the gametocytes inside the RBCs. Now, when a non-infected female Anopheles mosquito bites an infected person, these gametocytes enter the body of the mosquito with the blood meal. And fertilization and development takes place in the stomach of the mosquito, and these sporozoites get stored in the salivary glands of the mosquito. Now, when this infected mosquito bites another human, these sporozoites are injected to the human body with the bite. So, it is interesting to note that the malarial parasite Plasmodium requires two hosts to complete its life cycle. First is the human body, and the other one is the female Anopheles mosquito. Malaria can be prevented by using mosquito nets, wearing long sleeved clothes, avoiding stagnant water, and use of insect repellents. Now let us study the next disease caused by a protozoan, that is amoebiasis. It is also known as amoebic dysentery. It is caused by a protozoan named ant amoeba histolytica. The symptoms of amoebiasis include constipation, abdominal pain and cramps, and stools with excess mucus and blood clots. Houseflies act as the carriers of this disease. They serve to transmit the parasite from the feces of the infected person to food products, thereby contaminating them. Drinking water and food contaminated by the fecal matter are the main source of infection of this disease. Preventive measures of amoebiasis are using bottled water instead of tap water, washing vegetables and fruits properly before cooking, washing our hands properly. So by using the preventive measures, we can easily get rid of such diseases. Hope you found these topics interesting. Thank you.